So before we work with any business, we want to make sure you have the proper setup before you start running ads and actually starting to convert more clients. A lot of mistakes that I see businesses make throughout the years of me running my agency, the reason why they didn't convert any clients from their content or from their ads is because they had a very weak foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through step by step on how to make more money with your content and your ads, and to have the right setup before you start wasting money on the advertisements and wasting money on helping somebody do your content. You gotta have these things first so you can easily convert these people when they actually do come in to follow you, or if they opt into your lead form, okay? So the first thing you gotta have is you need to have a profile setup. Excuse my handwriting, I'm sorry, it's not that good. But what I mean by that is your profile setup needs to have your Instagram, your YouTube, your Facebook, your TikTok, and your LinkedIn. Those are the 5 that I recommend that everybody creates and dials in. And what you want to do, obviously, you want to have your logo, you want to have your bio updated, you want to have stories that you put up already so you can optimize the highlights and make them look branded. When somebody's looking for that type of service, they want to see everything in sync with the brand. They want to see a reliable company. And a lot of the times people start running ads or they start doing content, and everything is just, the first thing that people see is going to be that profile setup. They're not going to see your video first. They're not going to see your flyer first. They're going to start going into your content and then go down that rabbit hole, and that's only going to help you in the long run. So your profile setup is the first thing you want to have set up. The second thing you want to have set up is the audience that you want to target. Now this is very important because before you start creating content, you want to know who you're talking to in that content. Speaking to 18-year-olds and speaking to 40-year-olds is a completely different market, right? Especially if you're going like for a house, you remodel a house. An 18-year-old is most likely not going to have a house to remodel. You're going to need to speak to those homeowners or to those investors who are adults. So how can you speak to them when you're doing ads, when you're doing organic content? You want to make sure you have that dialed in, so then it's very easy to craft up a strategy and you know exactly who you're talking to. You don't have to waste any time or money on people who don't care about what you're actually offering, okay? Number 3, honestly, I think this is the most important one out of all of them, right? Offer. I can't stress enough how important this is, because you can create content just based off of this, right? The offer is what attracts people into the service that you're actually selling. What makes it juicy? The offer needs to have them feel, and Alex Hormozi talks about this, they have to feel stupid saying no to that type of offer. So you really got to work on the back end, like, okay, this is the type of offer I want. So if I'm offering $250 off a fence installation, that needs to be promoted in the content, right? That needs to be promoted in the ad itself, because that's going to strike a certain emotion that you want to make people feel like they're getting a good deal, and they are getting a good deal. You know, you are giving them the discount, but you want to make sure you also center that around your business and how it's going to be cost effective and it's not going to cost you much. When it comes down to the offer, the psychology and the messaging behind it is everything, and that's what's really going to help people get interested in your product. People might not right away feel like they need a fence installation until you expose them to it, and then you start saying, hey, this is what the offer is. We're doing $250 off and the price match guarantee, fall only. So it promotes urgency, it promotes a discount, and then you have people starting to look around and be like, you know what, I thought about this before, let me take advantage of this because they're offering it only during this time frame. So that's why I'm saying, like, the offer is everything, and you can create content and ads just around that. And I think a lot of businesses make a mistake of like showing, okay, this is what we do, but then people don't care about what you do. They care about the incentive that you're giving them and how they're going to benefit from it, the feeling that they get from it. So the 250. So I'm just telling you an ad that really worked a lot for our client. For our client was the $250 off price match guarantee, fall only, because it promoted the urgency and it helped people realize that they're getting a good deal. You know, and it positioned them to be the last company that they go to after getting all the quotes that they get from other fence companies because of the price match guarantee. So the offer really it's everything, man. And you can create one-time offers every single month, like a Valentine's Day special, St. Patrick's Day special, Easter special, summer special, fall special, right? Like that right there is going to be key when it comes down to booking more sales through your content. And then with the organic side of it, you can also promote that on the organic side of it as well, and tell stories about, you know, this person took advantage of this one-time offer and this is how it helped them, because people want to feel like other people. It's not really about what you do, it's about how you make them feel. So the offer has to do a lot with how you make them feel. So you want to make sure you have that dialed in before you start creating the content, right? And here's number 4. That is when you can start researching, sorry, my handwriting sucks, content ideas. So you want to do research on your competitors. You see what they're doing that makes them go viral or that they're getting a lot of engagement with, because you want to apply that for your company as well. The thing is, it's just so easy to look at what somebody else is doing, and you can just take a little bit from everybody and make it into your own. That's part of what our process is. We want to make sure that we're not reinventing the wheel. We want to make sure we follow what is working out there already and just apply and add the personality and the sauce for the company that we're working with. But you always want to do research on the content ideas, because by the time you go and film this, by the time you go and, you know, take time to make content, because it takes time to make content. It's easy, but at the same time, you know that it can be very time consuming. There's effort that you got to put in. So to make your life easier, you want to make sure you're actually researching the type of stuff that's actually working out there before you go and waste time, even money, on making content and running ads. You want to know what's working out there, and you want to just take a little bit from everybody and make it into your own. Trust me, it's a good ethical practice. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna do a video separately on how you can use your competitors to your advantage, and honestly, having competitors is a really good thing, and you can use that to your advantage in your content. But that's a whole different story, right? So number 5, once you have all the content ideas done, you want to make sure whoever you're working with, whether it's your team or a business partner or with us, you collaborate on the ideas and the vision. Guys, everybody needs to be on the same page when it comes to the content. Everybody needs to be on the same page. If there's a day that you want to go ahead and record everybody in the office and you want people to say a story about, you know, a client situation, or really just align them on like what days we're going to shoot, it's going to help the content be a lot better when everybody knows exactly what their role is and if they're on board with what we're going to film. There's been a lot of times throughout the years where maybe like the CEO is on board, but then the rest of the team is kind of like confused. Everybody needs to be in alignment. Everybody needs to know exactly, because they gives them the mental preparation and the creativity to really be like, okay, this is how I want our company to stand out, because if our company stands out online, that's going to be more business and more money for myself. So everybody needs to align on the vision before you start doing the content. Now we can start going into the content, right? Batch content in one day. Oops, let me just see here. One day. It's gonna be very easy to film content when you do these steps right here. That day to film might take you maybe like 2 hours at most sometimes. I did a video with one of my clients, a junk removal company. We spent 1 hour in my garage, it's a complete mess. We filmed a YouTube video and we made like a solid 10 to 20 reels just off of that. 1 hour of focus, because we knew exactly what we were going to film and who we were going to talk to. Now, when you batch content in one day, it's not going to be as much time as you think, because you follow these steps. It's going to be very easy. Everybody's on board. And then every now and then, you're probably not even going to need to schedule a content day. You're going to know exactly what to film based off of what your work day is and what your audience likes and what the brand is. So batching one day a month is all you really need to do. Honestly, it's going to take care of your organic content for sure. Your ads, since they're going to be scripted, maybe it might take a little longer, but even then you can fit that into the content day. I've done that for many businesses that we worked with, and it's worked well. Then after that, number 7, you get into your editing. Again, that all comes into like, I should have said this before, but when it comes to like the editing, you already know how you want to edit it. So this really comes into like number 4 and number 5, where you're researching and you're collaborating, and that really just also includes like the editing plan as well. So by the time you're done with the content, you know exactly how you want to be edited, so it shouldn't take a long time to get that done. It should probably take a couple of days to turn around, and boom, you can start posting, right? So after the editing is done, obviously approve it. Whoever the decision makers are, whoever is the one that's managing the page and wants the brand to look, right? And then number 9, you start posting and collecting data. Collecting data, you have to post the content. I mean, I don't care what you gotta swallow the pride and get over your ego, like, oh, I don't like how that looks. It's gonna hit, the message is gonna hit differently for everybody. And even if you didn't say something right the first time, that only gives you another opportunity to do another video on it and touch on the points that you didn't touch on that first video. So you want to post, you want to collect data, and then because that right there, once you collect the data, that's going to help you come up with another engaging offer to the right audience. And then again, we circle back with researching more ideas based off what the data you collected. Then you collaborate on that, making sure everybody's aligned with it, and then boom, just executing on it. And this is exactly how we've helped businesses make more money with content and ads, this whole setup right here. So if you need help with anything, if you need help clarifying it, you need help with any type of setup when it comes to any of these steps, hit the link in the description. You could book a call with me. It's a free consultation. It takes about 15 to 30 minutes, and I'll help you guys set up the right way. All right, guys, thank you for watching this. Hope you found this valuable. Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, or we're going to put a lot more content like this going forward.